Problem solver Katie Trexler is your tour guide in her special undercover investigation we're calling Crave the Rave.
Thanks, Monica and Huel. Young adults and teens, many of them underage, find their way into this secret world. They bring these things with them to use in bizarre rituals. So who is behind these underground parties? What goes on at them? Take a look at what makes young people crave the rave.
You might think this is a hot nightclub in Metro Detroit. Crowds of young people rocking to hip techno music until sunup. But take a closer look. You'll find blatant drug use, lollipops and pacifiers, along with a hypnotic show of light and sound. This is the rave culture of today. And despite what you might think, it's not a bunch of freaks, but mostly average-looking teens and young adults from the suburbs. A young tipster told me I'd be amazed by what goes on at these underground parties. So I went to work, and for 3 months, my photographer and I took an undercover camera inside to find out what's really happening there. I was expecting to see an outrageous party. I saw that and much more. Watch. Most raves, like this one, are held in empty warehouses and abandoned buildings in Detroit. So what would bring anyone to some of the city's worst neighborhoods in the middle of the night?
To dance, there's a lot of good music. Not to sound bad, there's good drugs here.
No kidding, there's a lot. The drugs are everywhere. Watch this. We found this group snorting something. Look, he is too. And many others popping unknown things into their mouths. What really surprised us is that so many of these people were doing drugs right out in the open. The drugs are illegal, but obviously an accepted part of the scene. Partiers admit to me drugs shape the rave culture. Their favorite these days, ecstasy, also known as E or X. It makes the user feel really happy, friendly, and peaceful. Ravers on E say they're rolling. Watch here as I ask this teenager if he's on the drug.
Are you rolling?
Do you see the lollipop in his mouth? I couldn't believe how many ravers I saw with them. I also noticed a lot of people like these guys with baby pacifiers popped in their mouths. So what's the deal? Kids tell me it keeps them from grinding their teeth or clenching their jaw, both side effects of ecstasy. Here's another quirk. See that painter's mask? Ravers smear Vicks Vapor Rub inside the mask or blow sticks of it in each other's face. Why? Because it feels good. Ecstasy enhances all the senses. That's maybe why we saw people waving around these glow sticks. They like to watch the light move. Ecstasy also makes people very affectionate. It's often called the hug drug.
Everybody's just friendly.
Everybody's all nice.
You can't go anywhere and just you bump into somebody instead of being like, just excuse me. They're like, hey man, excuse me, what's your name?
We don't know if all this sensual touching is caused by drugs, but there's sure a lot of it going on here. Even though we saw an unbelievable amount of drugs at raves, I talked with some people who say that's not what these parties are about.
I think that's a misconception with a lot of people, is they think that, you know, all it is a drug that makes it so great.
You know, it's all the music for me.
As the birthplace of techno music, Detroit is legendary. Partiers come here from all over the country to dance to its heavy electronic beat. Big-name DJs from New York, LA, even overseas, drawing massive crowds. At this party we went to at the foot of the Ambassador Bridge, we estimated at least 3,000 people were there. Many are attracted to these parties because they're underground. Organizers change locations every weekend. The spot is only given out hours before the rave by a message on a secret phone line. It's a way of keeping out unwanted people and hiding from police. But we tracked down raves through elaborate flyers passed out at exclusive record stores and other parties. Lists of raves are also plastered all over the internet. Take a look at this website. It even has a list of the drugs you can expect to find: ecstasy, coke, LSD. With all that, by now, you must be wondering, what do police say about these parties? Listen to this.
And there was cops just walking around dancing with people and everything. I mean, they really can't do anything about it.
So is it true that the police aren't stopping these parties? Well, coming up, I'll tell you what we found in our investigation.
This rave community is very, very tight.
Find out why this 45-year-old mom got arrested at a recent rave. Don't go away. My special report continues in just 2 minutes.